So it has been a minute since I've filmed anything. I'm sorry, you're gonna see my cat a lot in this video because I'm filming on the floor and she's clingy and nosy. But I thought I would just film an updated collection video. This is all just gonna be, what's it called, album photo cards. I'm not gonna have like my large inclusion collections or non-album collections. So I don't really collect non-album stuff anymore like I used to. So if you want to see any of that, I think what I already have posted should mostly be up to date. I can always film something updated, but I've changed my collection around quite a bit. So I'm going to start with my main collections. So starting off with soobin. So soobin is pretty much complete. I'm missing one card from the most, oh my gosh, there's cat hair all in there. I'm missing one card from the most recent comeback, and then I don't have any of his Japanese cards from the most recent Japanese comeback. So I need to get on that. And then I do have the other card that goes here. It's just in a photo card holder. So this is the one card that I'm missing. I think it's like the keyring version of like this concept. And then I'm still slowly working on Taehan. I can't remember if that was something I was collecting last time I filmed. It's been like a year, honestly. I have moved since, and I haven't really, I don't know, done anything. The card that goes here is also in a photo card holder, but Taehan is like, I get the cards, I get the cards. And then my solo cards, so I've got Bumgyu and then Yeonjun. I don't have bubblegum, or gum. I just called it bubblegum. I don't have gum. And then I just kept soobin's cards with the love language sets since there's only 2. And then these are like my OT5 sets, so remaining 3 members for the sets that I really like and wanted to keep. So these are almost done. I have this Yeonjun on the way. And then I collected OT5 for these lucky draws for Temptation. And then Japanese cards. I will probably never get this Yeonbin card because why is it $40? I'm not paying $40. So this is the only Star-Kissed card that I have. I pulled this one in my album. So it's hanging out there by itself for now. And then just pulls of other members. I have the other version of this Yeonjun. It is also in a photo card holder. And this is not a pull. I joined to go for this Yuninkai because he looked pretty. And the person who did the go sent him in like this purple and heart hollows. And I kept it in there because it looks even more pretty than leaving it by itself. Oh. But that is album cards for Soobin. I do have pre-order benefit cards for him in here. I used to have a lot more. I'm trying to sell a bunch of the ones that I don't really like as much. So we'll see how that goes, because I've had them posted for a couple months now and nobody has shown any interest in them. So right now, this is what I want to keep. And then we'll see how the other ones go. I do have OT5 set for this Target set. And then these are K-pop Nara. So let's move on to the next collection. All right, let's move on to BTS. They are coming back in less than a week. I'm filming this on Saturday the 14th. So my birthday is on a Monday the 16th, and then BTS is coming back on Friday the 20th. So starting out the week good and ending the week good. So you know it's gonna be a good week. But I collect yoongi, hobi, and jimin. So this is all complete, up to date. There's still a couple postcards from like the Proof album that I never got. One day I'll just like actually look for them. These are just some like benefit cards. And then, oh, I am still missing this Tay. I know it says Jin, but it's Tay. It's funny because I actually originally pulled Tay for this album, and then I traded it, and now I need it back. And then I do the same thing for BTS as I do for TXT for like my OT7 sets. And then these are like the sets that come in the albums. And then these are cards that I've pulled. There was like a point in time where I was going to collect OT7, so I have like a few cards that I did not pull that I want to keep. That's like these and like a couple others. But I want to get back the cards that I traded away that I pulled originally. So there's a couple missing spots, but mainly just like my pulls. And then these are the like random large inclusions. I do keep those in here. So I'm still missing the group postcard and Hobi for this. So if anybody has it and is looking to sell it or trade it, just let me know, please. And then we get into the solo section. Another thing that I just need to work on. I'm still missing a bunch of cards for June. This is like my favorite page. really blessed us with photo cards. Give us so many. And then I'm still missing like a Weaver's card for Jungkook. I need to get on that, honestly. Like, it's not that hard. And I got some random Jin POBs in the back here. And then Japanese cards. And then these are just fan-made sets of like official cards. And I got this Jin back here. So I'll go ahead and grab another binder. And we can move on to the next collection. So next is my ampers&one collection. I can't remember if this was in like my last video. If it was, I was still only collecting Makaya, but I collect OT7 now. There's my cat. But here's the front, there's the back. I'm not good at making collage stuff, but I had an extra album. But I collect, oh, I probably shouldn't really show that. I collect OT7, that's me and the members. But I collect OT7 for, I'm trying to get this straight. There we go. So I collect OT7 for ampers&one. And they're going on tour again. They haven't announced the cities yet, but I can like rest assured that they will be coming back to Minneapolis. And I will be getting that everything ticket again. I will be meeting them. Okay? Guarantee. I'm sorry if you hear my cat as well. She's trying to play. But I'm getting really close to being complete. Most albums are only missing like a few cards until we get to the most recent one, Loud and Proud. Here for One Hearted, there is one set where I'm like missing all the cards still. This one. But we're getting there. I've had this collection going for about a year and we made good progress. Then we get to one question where I did not collect all the cards. I only collected 2 sets per concept because it's just, the concepts are kind of boring. Like, the members themselves are cute, but the concepts were boring. So I only did 2 sets per concept. And then I'm still missing 2 unit cards. And then I did the same thing for Wild and Free. So this is a pre-order set. And then I only collected 2 sets per concept because I think I like these. Like, this is probably my least favorite concept is this one right here. See, these aren't even from the same set technically. I did like this one a little bit more, where they have like the racing jackets. I'm sorry, you definitely hear my cat playing. She has like a electronic toy that moves that she really likes, but it keeps her out of my hair. And then we get to Loud and Proud, where I am collecting all the cards because I really liked these cards and these concepts. I think this concept, so this concept is the same as what's on the cover. So I definitely think they could have picked like a better background to take the selfies in front of, because I feel like that's taking away from like their cool outfits and like just the cool concept in general. But I made a lot of progress. I bought a bunch of cards from somebody who was selling them. They were like $1 each, and they arrived to me yesterday, and I put them away yesterday. I definitely think this concept looks better selfie-wise, but I like the other concept better in like the photo book. And then I think this is my favorite set from the album, and just one of my favorite sets overall, is with the little gummy worms. Like these, these are from, both of these pages are from the Kiwi album. I didn't have a single one of those before yesterday, but we got groups and units completed. So those were free with purchase. And then this is an FNC Kingdom set. And then this is the set from their last tour, or first tour. See, I just got a text from work. And then these are cards from sets that I don't collect that I have, that I just like pulled. And then these are like my pre-order benefit cards that I have. So these are from when I was only collecting Micaiah. Like I bought these two individually, and then this one came with a set of his cards. And then I pulled these two. Aren't they so cute? Like I saw what all the other members look like with this one, and I think Micaiah's was my favorite, so I'm glad I pulled his. And then this is literally him. Like, he's literally eating himself. It's perfect. This is K-Town for you, by the way. And then these are some freebies that I got from the concert last year. But and then I've got this Cairo. Let me go ahead and grab the next binder. Okay, so next, this is my Le Sserafim and Boy Next Door binder. It was just the Seraphim in here, but I decided to put the two together just so I had less binders, and they both fit in here. So I collect Sakura and riwoo. But we can go ahead and get started. So I've kind of like switched up, like I said, I've switched up my collections a lot, how I store things and just what I collect. So for here, for Le Sserafim and Boy Next Door, it's more just the setup that's different. But Sakura is, I mean, she's complete up to spaghetti. I have 2 of her spaghetti cards on the way. This is what I have right now. And then I have the stress ball and another compact card on the way. I messaged somebody about a few of her cards that they were selling, but we'll see if they get back to me. And then these are Japanese cards. And then these are pre-order benefit cards. These, like, I've got her Perfect Night cards here. I was unsure of where I wanted to put those, but I just put them with the benefit cards. And then I've got like my unit and group cards for the girls. I don't think I'll be like fully collecting units anymore. I'm just gonna stick with what I pull. And then I've got my other members. So these are gonna be like, I think there's a couple I don't think I have any more OT5 sets. Or do I? I don't know. But these are like my pulls, essentially. I guess I did keep this as an OT5 set, as well as this one. The anti-fragile cards are so good. Those are still like my favorite cards. So essentially, these are my pulls. These are Hello 82. Then these are like the signature cards from Japanese releases. And then these are Japanese cards. So the group cards are like the target cards for their Japanese albums. Then I forget which store this is from, but I remember joining a go for it when the album first came out. And then these are just some fan-made cards from their first couple wins with Fearless that I have. Then we've got Boy Next Door. So we start off with the light stick cards. And then into riwoo. So usually I don't plan on collecting ID cards, but I obtained them naturally, so they're here. I'm just missing a couple of the action cards. So I pulled this one and I bought this one. And then my pulls from the other members. I do have this riwoo Japanese card, but I don't collect their Japanese cards or albums. I just impulsively bought the album at Barnes & Noble when I saw it unexpectedly. So he's just hanging out with the rest of the members here. These are like two of my favorite cards. This Sungo and then this Taesan. I love those cards so much. And then I've got the units for, is this Y? Yeah. And then no genre, right? No genre. Yeah. I just have my pulls for units. I planned on collecting all of them. See how far that's gotten me? And then the meme cards. I still need riwoo and Taesan. I just need to like find them and get them. And then these are like my target cards. And this is a Barnes & Noble card, and the rest of these are the like US store exclusives. I think that's what they're called. Yeah. But let's go ahead and move on to the next. Alright, so this is my AB6 collection. This is almost complete, almost up to date, and they're having a comeback in like 2 days. So like it's almost complete, but like I'm falling behind a little bit because I don't have cards from their last comeback. But I messaged somebody who is selling them all, so let's see if they hopefully still have them available. But I have this card on the way. This is one of my favorite collections to flip through because of how complete it is. And I finally have this card on the way. This is him with the cherry pillow. That card is so hard to find, and it went in stock on Poke Market. Gosh, so I need one other card for this set. Both of these cards are hard to find. You can't find them like anywhere. And AB6 not having like any sort of like trading or collecting community does not help. I need to get one more A to B card to fill the page. I need one more Take a Chance card. And then for Lost, there are like platform cards, but I'm not gonna get them because I don't really like them. I'd rather put my money towards something else. I think this is my favorite. This is the era that I started standing. I had heard of AB6 before, like when they released Breathe. Like that was their debut. I had definitely heard that before, but I heard, as soon as I heard the title track for this album, what was it called? Grab Me? Ooh, that had me locked in. These are some of my favorite cards too. I like these concepts. And then my single card for Upside Down that I pulled. Yeah, so I messaged somebody about buying all their Boom cards for this album. And then I've just got some pre-order benefits. This is a Japanese card, and then this is like a fan meeting card. I don't know, they just came in a set of his cards that I bought. And I've got some OT4 sets for some pre-order benefits. Like, this was the page that I was going to use for the Lost platform, but it's just hanging out in the back now. But let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So next I have my Tempest collection. I think this is going to be very different from last time I filmed. I can't remember because I didn't even like look and see what my collection looked like last time I filmed anything. But for Tempest, I collect Lu, Hanbin, and Hwarang, and my collection stops at where Hwarang got kicked out of the group. So collection is pretty much complete. I'm just missing like 2 or 3 cards that I'm struggling to find, but I've got a couple OT7 sets at the front here, and then we start. So I'm missing this Hanbin. And this Lu. And this Hwarang. And then I got Nchan here instead of Lu because his card was like, at least based on like templates and Pokemarket, the card was like the exact same as one of the other cards in the album, so I just got a different member. And then I'm missing this Hanbin. And then I did buy bubblegum cards because I really liked the cards. So I got Hyuk in place of Hwarang. Honestly, Hyuk and Lu are kind of like on the same level of like bias for me in Tempest. And then I've got like my pulls back here for all the other members. I love this card. That unit card. And then for a short period of time, I was collecting like Hanbin's non-album stuff. So there's like a few things in here that from my iMembership fan club thing. And light stick. Oh my gosh, why am I struggling? And then I've got my large inclusions in the back here. And then for a period of time, I was also collecting pre-order benefits for Hanbin. So this is my collection of that in here. So they used to be in the same binder because I used to only collect Hanbin, so they all were in that same blue binder. But when I moved to collecting top 3, I moved Hanbin into here. So these are just all my Hanbin cards. There's a couple Hwarang cards in here in Lu in the back. Like I have this Hwarang, and then I have this Lu. I pulled this Lu. That Lu goes with this Hanbin. So those are from K-Town for you. And then I have these couple other Hwarungs I purchased. And then a couple of bubblegum cards that I obtained. But that is Tempest. So you're not going to see that collection change ever. Other than if I find the cards that I'm missing. So that is archived pretty much. So next we're going to start getting into some more kind of miscellaneous collections. So if you look back at my channel in the past, I used to collect Nyan, like fully. I used to have all her cards. I had a complete collection. And then I decided I didn't really like collecting twice anymore. Like collecting. So I like sold and traded off most of my cards. I kept one per album. There is a couple albums where I kept more than one if I really liked the card. But that's essentially what we're going to start off with. Well, we start off with the light sticks photo cards. And then my now small Nyan collection. So if I pull her cards in the albums, I stick it with her card specifically here. And then my OT9 sets, I kept those. And the group and unit cards. And then my pulls. I miss my pulls from all my original pulls from my albums, because I like traded them for all of Nyan's cards and I miss them. So starting here is all cards that I have pulled from the albums. I did originally pull this Chewy, and then I traded it, and then I got it back. And then I did not pull this Jiho, but this is my favorite, one of my favorite cards of hers, so I just have it. And then I did keep her solo cards. And then she had her comeback after I stopped collecting, so these are just my pulls. And then these are from the pre-order sets. And this is a Target card and some pre-order benefit from some other store. And then another kind of miscellaneous collection I have is Dreamcatcher. So this is another binder that's probably not gonna change unless Dreamcatcher has like a full group comeback. But this is another one where I like miss my original pulls. I collected Sua for a short period of time, and then I decided that I didn't want to collect Sua anymore. I just wanted to keep my pulls. So I spent some time trying to get back some of the cards that I originally pulled. I don't remember all the cards I originally pulled, but it's really hard because I started buying their albums with Escape the Era. And like, if you know Dreamcatcher, you know their older albums are out of print. So it can be really hard to get those cards. But I just have them divided by member. I pull a lot of Jiu, Sua, and do I pull others? Yan? Yeah. I don't pull a lot of Handong. Like Dami, I'm missing all my earlier era cards. I should have a lot more Dami. I miss my Dami cards. Like Guyan, I pulled a bunch of her pink carry cards and I want them back. So bad. I'm glad I never traded this one away. This is like my favorite card. That's why I never traded it. And then the larger inclusions back here. This is actually a pre-order benefit from K-Town for you. Like these larger inclusions. I don't even remember who I originally pulled for those, but we're just sticking with what I've got. Like, I'm not gonna try and get that back. And then I never finished getting the member stickers for these. I'm still missing like 2. So that's that. We should probably, while we're on the topic of girl groups, we should do my miscellaneous girl group binder. So my miscellaneous binders of like groups that I like don't collect go through so much. So at the front, I have groups that I actively buy albums for. So we've got Eyelet, Red Velvet, Racine, and A Pink. And then in the back, we kind of have like groups that I don't buy albums for anymore, or they were kind of like a one-off thing. So we've got like Adora. This is from the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack. It's a roomie. This is a member of riwoo. I got that in like a lucky draw machine at my local K-pop store. Like Kiss of Life, I went to their tour and then they did what they did. So those are in there. Cherry Bullet and Tribe. And then we got ITZY, Kepler, New Jeans, Secret Number, Rocket Punch, Elza, Saturday. These are the stickers from Saturday's Only You album, and then my complete Saturday collection. And then I'm able to put the large inclusions back here. So these are just kind of like thrown in here. I kind of just put them where they fit and aren't taking up a bunch of space. So things usually just get like thrown all willy-nilly in here, because I don't like using up all like my pocket pages for stuff like this, for collections that don't really like matter per se, just because I don't want to buy pocket pages. Okay, I thought I skipped a page. I don't want to have to buy a bunch of pocket pages because it gets expensive. And then lastly, we start moving on to kind of miscellaneous boy groups. So we'll start with the big binder. So these are groups that I actively buy albums for. So kind of same thing as the girls. So we start off with Anteam. I did not pull all these Anteam cards. So I bought that one. And then there's Pokemart Market started doing this thing where you can like pay for like some random photo cards, and I did that for Anteam because I really wanted more Anteam cards, but I didn't want to like pick and choose the cards. I wanted them to be random, so that's where like all these came from. And same on this page, like all these And I think this Joe as well. I don't remember pulling that Joe. My memory is terrible. And then we got some Season's Greetings. I impulsively bought both of these Season's Greetings at the times that they came out because they were cute. My 8-turn light stick photo cards. These are my pulls for AB6, other than my womb cards. And these are some random cards that I bought. And then groups and units. So I am like slowly trying to collect the unit cards. Like I'm just missing one card for this set. And same with this, I'm just missing one card. Then all hours, I was collecting Jaden and Jimin, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm missing a couple cards for Smoke Point. Then the other members. Some other Jaden and Jimin cards. And then Aldi1, this is new. So for Aldi1, I plan on collecting like one set per album release, which I pulled the Shinlong, and then I have Arno on the way. So this is the version that I'll be collecting. So right now my pulls are just hanging out in here. Then in Hypen, I did not buy this Sunu. Or I did not pull this Sunu, I bought it. And even, same with this Hanbin card, I bought that one because he looks cool. And I just started listening to Nexi, so I just bought this album the other day, like a couple weeks ago. So these are my pulls, and this is a thing that the cards came in. I was too lazy to put it back in the album, so it's hanging out here for now. And then Nomad, I was collecting Sangha. I have a lot of groups that are just like disbanded. And then Joshua's birthday cards from a couple years ago, I think. And then these are just dividers I used to have in here. And then I have two more. Let's do this one first. So this is ZB1. I was like for sure thinking ZB1 was like gonna disband fully, so I moved them into their own binder and was like gonna like archive it. But they're continuing as 5. Their last concert is tomorrow, and I keep getting clips of them crying, and it makes me cry. But on the side here, I've got this message card. This is Hanbin. We got this Ricky. These are Yuvan and Matthew. And we got Terry. And then Yuvan and Ricky. Then I've got this How keychain from Never Say Never hanging out here. And then this thing is like in the way. But we've got my pulls. I was collecting How and Terry. Terry was like complete up until like Never Say Never. And How was harder to collect. So it was kind of like if I get his cards, if I get his cards, I get them. But I decided that I didn't really want to collect them like that anymore. So, I mean, when we get to the section, we'll get to it. It's not that far away. Like here. Like I just kept a few cards that I really liked for each of them. Like why would I ever get rid of this card? Why would I ever get rid of a Halbin card? Like come on. Yeah. Then my Cerrone cards that I have. And then I just kept this pre-order set that I have. This is how back here, but this will expand maybe. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, when they come back as 5 members, am I gonna like keep putting them in here? When like the has however you say their company name, when they like re-debut, will I put them in here too? I don't even know. Or do I leave this as like, this is OT9ZB1? I don't know. I think I will. I think I'll just leave it as OT9ZB1. So, and then we have my boy groups that I don't like. I'm not planning on actively buying albums. I'm gonna put that behind again. I've got this 17 Lucky Draw that I got from the Lucky Draw card thing at my local K-pop store. Then like these AT stickers. But we've got 8 Turn in the front. And then this is a member of AMP, which is that band that debuted under FNC. They've got a bunch of, what do they I think they have FT Island, Ampers, P1 Harmony, and like a couple other bands. So I don't really know the members, but I bought the album because I really like the album. This was from their debut album. And then ATs, you'll see that this binder is just like all over the place. Like nothing's in order. CIX. I've sold and traded some of my CIX cards, so there's some that I don't have anymore. Close Your Eyes. We'll see if I end up buying another one of their albums. Their music is really good, but like I'm trying to be better about buying albums of groups that I like don't stan. And Gravity, they might get upgraded to the other binder because honestly, they have been putting out banger albums, like so good. But I only have a few Gravity albums. Just Be, they haven't put out a physical album in a while. This is from their tour last year. They're going on tour again. We'll see if I end up getting a ticket. That was honestly one of my favorite concerts last year. And I had been waiting to see them for a long time. By a long time, I mean like a few years. Few years. But if Just Be are coming near you, I highly recommend going to see them. That was a really good concert. Even they had a bunch of technical difficulties because of the crew that they were working with, but they were really good and a lot of fun. We got The Kingdom, who are kind of disbanded. P1 Harmony, Mirai, disbanded. Nomad, pretty much disbanded. 17. I think I've also sold and traded a couple of my 17 cards as well. SF9, The Boys, Trenzy, To Us, Waker. Waker finally just had a comeback after like 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Something like that. With, if you guys watched the 2nd season of Boys Planet, Wib has multiple Boys Planet members. They've been around. I've been buying their albums. I'm not gonna buy their newest album with like Rock the Nation because I didn't really. Rock the Nation is like their weakest title track by far, honestly. It's either that or their debut. But they've been putting out good music, so please go check them out. NCT Wish, Extraordinary Heroes. There's my cat. She's done playing, I guess. Like I've given some of my cards to my friend, so I don't have them all. X-Love. I should buy another X-Love album. I only have Amabi. Oh, this is Junyeon from TIOT, who was on Boys Planet. I should really buy another X Love album. But essentially that is my collection. Like my active collection. Again, I didn't include any non-album binders or large inclusion binders, but this is pretty much it for now. I don't know if I'll do storing card videos anymore because I don't like obtain enough cards to do that at a time. But I'll probably keep doing like update videos every once in a while. So, I don't know. See you guys next time. Bye.